5 Miami Beach police officers face first-degree battery charges for allegedly using excessive force during the arrest of 2 black men, Dalonta, Crudup, and Khalid, Vaughn. It took place at a South Beach hotel. Check this out. Now, this is surveillance video. It shows an officer chase Crudup into the lobby of the Royal Palm Hotel. The officer ordered Crudup onto the ground at gunpoint, and then Crudup complies. Moments later, more than a dozen more officers flood into the lobby surrounding Crudup. The cops then slammed Crudup's head on the ground and began to kick him violently. Y'all, that's a lot of cops for one person. All of this happened because officers claim Crudup struck a bicycle patrol officer while driving a scooter recklessly. Now, during Monday's news conference, Miami-Dade State Attorney Katherine Fernandez, Rundle, walked through what happened when officers caught Vaughn using a cell phone to record Crudup's arrest.
4 steps back with his camera. Now you see Officer Saboteur running in and tackling him there. Watch what happens next. I'm sorry, but it's all we have. It's what it is. So if you could play that, George, please. Now what you see, there's a series of punches in the back rib cage area or kidney area. It's on the back. You see that there? See that there? There are different videos of the same thing, so that's why it seems repetitive. Do you see it right there? Can you roll that back, George, please? See the back there? That's Officer. It's a different angle. These are body-worn cameras at this point. Then about 5 seconds later, I don't know if you can catch that there. See that right there? So Sergeant Perez had, who kicked him, had then, you'll see him come back around in just a second.
Crudup was facing several charges, including aggravated battery of a law enforcement officer. Vaughn was charged with resisting an arrest with violence and impeding a police investigation. After reviewing the video footage, Police Chief Richard Clements requested all charges against both men be dropped. State Attorney Rundle agreed and dropped the charges. Sergeant Jose Perez, officers Kevin Perez, not related, Robert Sebester, David Rivas, and Steven Serrano turned themselves in on Monday. This Mustafa right here shows you, again, when you have thug cops, how they will attack folks, beat folks, and they thought, we're gonna get away with this, but it was that surveillance video and body camera footage that actually did them in. And every single, now granted, it's misdemeanor charges, every single one of these cops should be fired, including, and in fact, the state's attorney general, the state's attorney complained that only one officer acted to pull one of the cops away, but the rest of them just stood around and watched them do what they do. All of them should lose their jobs.
I agree. You know, being a police officer is a privilege, and it means that you carry yourself in that way. We see far too many instances where folks are handcuffed. They got their hands behind their back on the ground, and then people want to, continue to beat on folks and to put their lives actually in danger. So this has to change. But also, you see police officers actually turn their back so they don't have to sometimes see what's going on. It's almost like some of these congressmen on Capitol Hill who say, well, I haven't seen the video yet, so I don't really know what went on. You know what went on. 21 police officers moved into that space. The gentleman was already, had his hands behind his back, and they still continued to pile on. Then they started whipping on him. And then they moved to the other brother who was recording it because they're like, wait a minute, we can't have this individual actually capturing what was going on. Of course, they didn't know that there were the other cameras that were also capturing these injustices that continue to happen. And that's why if you don't want to be a police officer, then don't be a police officer, you know? But you can't have this job and then continue to do things that you arrest other people for. And that's why you deserve to lose your job. And the folks who are standing around watching and not stopping these individuals from allowing this to further escalate, they also need to be, you know, they've got to deal with the consequences of that as well.
Amisha, the state's attorney said when the police chief saw the video, all he did was just put his head down on his desk. He was shocked and stunned by what he saw.
It is shocking, but not necessarily surprising. It was hard to watch because as you were playing that, the guy's head was literally bouncing up and down off of the floor. You have individuals who, one, I don't know why all of those cops were called to the scene in the first place. That was a lot of people. And to the point that Mustafa made a moment ago, you have so many officers that were basically just standing around. At no point is anyone trying to stop the aggression or trying to de-escalate. Isn't that the whole point? That's what we hear in all of these cases. De-escalation. That's what you're supposed to do when you get on the scene. They came to the scene and escalated. There was not any amount of violence that was occurring before they got there. And I think that it's interesting because we always see in every case that these officers up charges when they're trying to eradicate their own culpability and their behavior. They up the charges for those who they were trying to take in. What can we expect? We've seen the body cam footage. We saw the footage that was taken from the lobby area in and of itself. This was a strike force used against two people. And I think that it was extremely egregious, but it's also, when does this stop? You quoted the chief being very disappointed in what he saw or thinking of it as unbelievable. No, sir. These are people you trained. These are people who come to work for you every single day. These are people who I'm sure this wasn't their first incident of random violence. Police officers who respond like this are police officers who, just like anyone who assaults people in real life outside of the police uniform, these are people who have a consistent time of doing so. So they need to, it's not training. It's not a training issue. We already know that. It's not a training issue because this doesn't happen to white people. It is one of police abuse against those who are black and brown. And we consistently see black men in particular getting their heads beat in by these officers. And the question is, when can we expect police reforms to actually happen? When? Yesterday would be too far. We need these things to happen now because thank God those men came out of this situation alive, but far too many of our brothers do not.
Well, I'll tell you what, Teresa, we have seen Miami Beach have lots of problems in the past with thug cops.
We have, and it won't stop. We will continue to see, unfortunately, this injustice against civilians, against taxpayers, and against black men and women until the justice system decides to do their part. And that is not only prosecuting many of the officers that we see in the videos continuously, but also reaching into their life savings, which is their pensions. So I've been a big proponent of pension snatching for those officers who choose not to understand the law when it comes to police civility and doing their jobs, because it's not like, again, when police are may be reprimanded at one department, they just transfer to another, and that violence continues and someone else is hurt, and ultimately it could lead in another lost life. So why, continuously, just move the individual from, department to department when we really need solutions from the Justice Department to do something holistically.
Folks, back to our Roland unfiltered video in just one moment. Our friends with Seek.com, they are back.
Yo, this is Ziggy Marley. Catch my live performance on Seek.
Bon Jovi, and you're watching us on Seek. What's going on? This Quavo Huncho. Right now, you in the Huncho's world. Please let the music play.
It's a black-owned company founded by Mary Spio. They, of course, have their virtual reality content that you can actually see via their app, Seek.com, but they also have the product they actually sell. So so one of the products you can see right here, folks, is their virtual headset that you see right here, which allows for you to actually see the content. Just simply place your phone right in here, and then you can actually see a particular video. But remember, they also have their great headsets, and so this is one, and actually they've added a new color. So you saw these before. We showed you these before. They're black and white. Excuse me, they're black and gold headsets, 360-degree surround sound. And so they sent me their headsets, and I said, okay, cool. Then I opened this one, and y'all know I was like, okay, I like this one here. All gold. Now, you know, as an alpha, I love this here. And so this is their all gold headset. And so it is absolutely amazing sound. The bass is incredible. Just go to seek.com, but use this promo code. It's RMVIP21. Now we should have put it in the lower third, please. The promo code is RMVIP21. Go to seek.com. And so when you purchase either the headset or the VR headset, we also get a cut of the proceeds, and we certainly appreciate Seek being returning as one of our partners here at Roland Martin Unfiltered.